Hi, welcome back.
Thank you.
I just want to remind you again that this is a safe place and that whatever you say to me stays between me and you. And of course, unless it is something that I'm mandated to report, like you telling me that you want to harm yourself or others, then of course I have to report it. And obviously, we want to make sure that everyone is safe. But anything other than that, it's just between me and you. So feel comfortable.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay, so if you want, since it's a follow back meeting, I can just go ahead and give you a little summary of what happened last time. You were telling me that you were feeling a little isolated,
Yep.
that you're new to college, and that you were unsure at this point if you wanted to continue or if you just wanted to go back because you had taken a year off before and you just felt like you were not connecting as well with the other students and you felt like maybe it was because you were a little bit older and you were just telling me how it was hard for you to make that transition and how the moment you were not sure if it was the right decision and you were still like exploring whether you wanted to stay or leave. And we talked about trying different things, different clubs. You mentioned that you're Catholic and you told me that
Yes.
you would like to try maybe something within your faith. And so I just want to say, how are you? How do you feel today?
No, you know what? I feel a lot better because yes, I think I was overwhelmed with everything that was happening again because it was so new. It's a change. And I have to admit, one of the first things that I did, I know there was a lot of activities that I said I was going to pursue, but I think one of the, oh no, I know the first thing that I did was talk to my parents because, because I also, I'm close with them, so I kind of wanted to get their input um and get their feedback and see what they
Mhm.
suggested or obviously they say they supported me, but they did encourage me to continue on, right? Because they reminded me that I said I was just going to take a year off and then I was going to go back to school. So I understand, they were pretty honest with me, and I know that they love me. So I definitely take what they have to say to me into consideration, and I value what their input and I value their advice. So, yes. So in other words, they say just stick it out. It's a big change, and you'll still get the chance to meet different people. Maybe not necessarily the ones that you are around right now or your roommates, but give yourself the opportunity to meet other people. So besides that, I'm like, okay, so I decided to stick it out. I did also um find or found that there was a Catholic church next or nearby the university, so I did started going. I haven't joined anything yet because I kind of want to familiarize myself with the environment, and I'm getting to know people. I don't just want to get there and start right away because I've done that before where I just get in and kind of just start sprinting instead of casually getting to know people, getting to know the environment, which has helped me a lot, and also an understanding, because if I put it in perspective, university is just kind of like the same way, right?
Right.
I'm getting there.
And I'm
And
glad to hear. Yeah.
so, I put that in perspective. And so I kind of find it interesting, right? And granted, because at church, it's something very familiar with me. So I consider it a second home. University, wait, maybe not so much, right? Because even though it will be my home for the next, however many years, I the familiarity of a church kind of like I'm easing into that a little bit better,
I was,
but I
and that's
understand
something that I
why.
was gonna like suggest to just ease the transition because you have to remember this is a transition and every transition can be really hard. So this is obviously something that you're not used to because it's your first time doing it. But if we just keep in mind that it's a transition and we can get better at it and that things are not always going to be as difficult. I think it can help. So that was going to be my first suggestion of today, that we don't have to be so hard on you feeling right at home right away, right? So,
Mhm.
and it's kind of normal that you don't. So, and that's a good thing. And it means that you are exploring who you are, you're exploring who you like, and you're exploring different things. So that's always good. So I was gonna suggest to you maybe talking to your family often still,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
maybe gradually a little less while you're still trying new things, because it's
Mhm.
important for you to feel at home, to feel comfortable. And it wouldn't be such a smooth transition if we go right away from not seeing anyone, not talking to anyone, to
Right.
right away trying new things. And as anything that is new, things may or may not work. So I was going to suggest that number one, that we try still talking to your family quite often. It may be, I don't know, how often do you talk to them right now?
I talk to them maybe probably like maybe twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week.
Okay, so that's good. I think we can keep it as that as for right now. It may be little by little as we're trying new things, we can like uh do a little less as you're feeling more comfortable. But maybe right now
Mhm.
we leave it as you still talking to them just as much, and we can try new things. So I'm happy to hear that you're already trying your Catholic church. And I found some things for you. The number one thing is in Compass, we do have a chapel that has,
Yay.
yes, and it has different clubs with many different denominations. One of them is Catholic, so I found
Okay.
that one for you. So I think
Oh,
you
thank
can
you.
you can go ahead and talk to them and maybe ask questions, maybe to figure out
Yeah.
what days they meet and if it is um, working with your schedule, because you also mentioned you're taking a lot of classes. So
Yes.
I think that will be a really good starting point for you. I
Yeah.
I also found out that we have a band group, and because you mentioned that was one of your interests, so
Mhm.
I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about joining that?
Well, because now that I've been in classes and I'm definitely feeling not too overwhelmed, but with homework and all that, I think definitely maybe taking it, especially this quarter, like one at a time, so that I'm not so
And
overwhelmed.
and
Because
that's what I was thinking too.
I want to give it my all, I want to give
Mhm.
it my full focus and attention. So if I have too many things, which I've done in the past where I just take on too much and then I'm just exhausted, or I
Yes.
end up feeling guilty because I don't give my full 100% focus
Right.
on a
And
particular.
that's why I wasn't gonna suggest those two right now. So it will be mainly still talking to your family so we can ease that transition. It doesn't go like right away, not having any connection with any of the people that you have been used to being connected to. So I
Right.
think family is super important. And you have
Yes.
mentioned that how it's really important for yourself.
Yes.
So I say we keep it to 3 to 4 times a week right now. And that's why I was only suggesting two right now, band and the Catholic club, because I feel like I wasn't gonna expect you to join both necessarily, but for you to have options. So I
Yeah.
have more options if you want me to go over that, or we can talk about it a different time right now. If you just want to set up a goal as of right now, with sticking maybe with the 3 to 4 times a week, talking to your
Yeah.
family, and maybe just going to just trying out with the Catholic club. So you don't have to feel overwhelmed and you still have time to
Yeah.
do homework and everything else that you have already in your schedule.
Yeah, I think that's the best option. I think for me personally, just again, because I do want to make sure that I am giving my homework, enough time, my classes enough time, and as well
Exactly.
as kind of joining this new Catholic club on campus, which is great because then it saves me, if they celebrate. Do you know if they celebrate mass at the on campus?
I think they do on Sundays.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, it is at 5 p.m. on Sundays. And because it, like I was saying, it's non-denominational. So they have different
Yeah.
uh religions coming at different times. So that's
Okay.
what I have right now so far in my notes. The Catholic
Okay.
was at 5.
Perfect.
PM on Sundays.
And it saved me a trip to go outside,
Exactly.
so
And that's what I was
also on
thinking too,
campus.
especially when you're so busy, and
Yeah.
then it gives you time to maybe talk to your parents or sister or siblings, whoever it is, like in the mornings, or maybe like if you want to rest a little bit, doing laundry. I don't know, so many things that there
Yes.
is to do. So we're gonna keep it with those two right now because I don't want to
Yes.
overwhelm you. You
Yes.
just
Yes.
mentioned that you have had that problem in the past, so that's
Yep.
great.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
why don't you tell me a little more of how you're feeling now? What are maybe are you finding different friends, talking to like new people? You also mentioned something about your roommate not talking to you as much. So how's
Yeah.
all of that going?
Well, with my roommate, I feel like I'm not going to force a friendship there. It's to each their own. I mean, we're definitely courteous, not like, she's mean or anything, but she has her own things, and it just happens that we don't have a lot of things in common. So, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So, I am talking to different people. I'm still kind of like, just focusing on my studies and school. But I did want to mention, with easing into everything, again, giving myself that time, because in the past, what I've done was like when there is a change, I like completely, I kind of like, it's a blank page. And I don't want it, and I don't want to ease into it. I just want to like jump into it just to get it over with. Kind of like for
Mhm.
me, it's like a way of like, okay, let's just remove the band-aid and avoid all this small talk, avoid all this nonsense,
Mhm.
right? But I get it. And it hasn't been very effective in the past. So I need to try something different, right? If I want different results. So yeah, so I am not, yes, I like talking to people, and I'm definitely, especially in classes where we have group assignments, I have my groups, and that's been fun. So I've hung out with a couple of them on the weekends, at least going
Excellent.
out for a couple of drinks and appetizers. But it's good. Again, like I'm building, I want to make sure that the people that I talk to are, people that have the same values, have the same goals, um and so that, I have some kind of connection with them, and it's not just an assignment that's bringing us together. But no, it's good. Of course, there's still times where I miss being back home and doing, what I was used to doing in that, comfort. But I think slowly, I know you never know when you start feeling normal again, or, and you're new in this new transition, especially with this new school and my new surroundings. I think I think I tend to, or I catch myself always asking myself, like, okay, when is it going to feel normal? And not allowing and I know that I need to allow myself to kind of like not force it, but just feel uncomfortable in order to get comfortable.
Well, I'm glad that you know that is like a transition. And yeah, of course, we have to feel a little uncomfortable before it gets comfortable. So that's a good thing. I also wanted to mention that I found out that they also have reconciliation on campus too on
Oh,
Tuesday
that's
at
awesome. Oh,
3.
I love that. I
So
love that.
you were mentioning about your values and meeting people that have the same values. So I feel like this will be a great way for you to find more
Hmm.
people
Yeah,
with
I love
similar
that.
values. Exactly.
Hmm.
And so I think it's an exciting time. I mean, it's a transition time, and like you were
Yeah.
mentioning, it's gonna feel a little uncomfortable before it
Yeah.
gets good. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's part of it. And I'm so glad to see that you are a lot more open to the change and to trying new things, and that's great. And I am still keeping in mind that you have a heavy load with
Yes.
classes right now,
So,
and that you have mentioned that you have gone overwhelmed in the past. So we're
yeah.
gonna keep it with that. But I think overall you're doing great. I think you are
Yes.
trying new things. It's not like you're just sitting in your room and not talking to anyone. So that's
Right.
great.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely not at where I want to be, but I am better than when I first met, our first meeting. So it's an improvement for sure.
Right. And just remember that is process. So you may not
Mhm.
feel right away like
Yeah.
feeling good or at home, but it's a process. And I want to remind you that it's been little time too. It's only been 3 months. So it's
Mhm.
normal that you still not feel like adapted to a new place. So
Yeah.
it's gonna take some time. And I just wanna emphasize again that you are trying, that you're doing good, that you're participating. And I love to hear that you're going out with classmates and trying
Yeah.
different things. I
Yeah.
mean, you never know. There's always like gonna be those friends that maybe sometimes we think like, oh, I didn't think we were gonna be friends, and now we're really good at
That's true.
friends.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
it's always good to just stay open and just try different things, and that's great. I'm so glad that you're trying. I'm so glad that you are even getting along with your roommate, because last time I was a little
Yeah.
worried. I thought you guys were like
Yes.
not at all getting along. So it's good to hear that you guys are courteous with each other. And it's good
Yes.
to hear that
Yes.
I mean, that happens. You don't have to be best friends. It happens that you guys are gonna have
Right.
different interests. So that's great.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would like to add?
No, again, just taking it step by step, you know, trying to, allowing myself to also feel, what and understand how I feel. Again, because I've been some in the past, I've just not wanting to, and that's why I've just, shut it out. But, I'm enjoying, I like campus. Campus is really pretty. So, I do take walks and here and there, and so, but no, yeah, it's better. It's definitely better. And I'm looking forward to, to it being even, better opportunities and meeting more people and feeling more at home, more and more at home.
I'm so glad to hear. So let's go over again that you're feeling better, that you're trying different
Mhm.
things, and that you're gonna try the Catholic group.
Yes. Yes.
That's gonna be our goal, and that you continue to talk to your family. So
Yes.
just remember that's our goal for until, because we'll see each other if you want to come back. I would like to check in with you within a month. I
Okay.
think it gives you
Sounds
some time
good.
to try different things, to see if you like it or
Yeah.
not, to see if we should change the plan and maybe have different goals, or how you feeling if things are have or have not worked for you. So I think that will
Okay.
be uh, our plan and our goal again, to just continue with some of what we have, talking to your family 3 to 4 times a week,
Perfect. Yes.
and uh trying the Catholic club, because I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. And you let me know. I have a list of different things that I
Okay.
feel like could work for you. So if this doesn't work, we can try different things, and just be open. Feel free to tell me if you don't like it. It's okay. And there's always multiple things. And like you were saying, to each
Yeah.
their own. So things could or cannot work for you, and it should be fine.
Perfect. I appreciate it. And thank you so much for letting me know about, you know, uh, the what's on campus, especially, me being Catholic and the reconciliation. So I definitely appreciate that. I didn't know. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you again back in a month and letting you know how that works out, especially with my schedule and all that.
Perfect. And just keep in mind, it's a transitional period. So
Mhm.
uh, you're doing well. Do not allow yourself to be overwhelmed. Just keep thinking that you got this, and that we can always figure out something else. And I'm glad that you are deciding to stay, and I'm glad that you're deciding to continue to try different things.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes.
Okay,
I'm gonna keep going.
great. Okay, great to see you, Veronica, and I'll see you again next month.
Okay, see you next month. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank you.